Now you might be wondering what happened here. The Ardling is a tragic tale about what might have been the most publicized D&D creation to never be published. Today we'll be talking about the rise and fall of the Ardling, and exactly where it all went wrong. Welcome to the Wintry Wyvern, let's dive in. By the way, this video is sponsored by OnlyCrits, but more on that later. Some of you are asking, what's the Ardling and why should I care? The first mention of the Ardling coincided with the announcement of One D&D, which was shipped by Wizards of the Coast as a revamp to 5th edition D&D, the most popular version of the game thus far. While they promised that many aspects of 5th edition would remain exactly the same, moves had to be made to ensure that dedicated players would see One D&D as an upgrade rather than an option. One such move was the introduction of the Ardling. Among the stalwart cast of tried and true playable species, moving into One D&D they intended to add one new face. This is a big deal because the playable roster of every player's handbook provides foundational knowledge to new players of the most common, recognized, and often the most famous populations of the D&D world. Many have roots much deeper and older than tabletop RPGs, and are recognizable even to those foreign to the game. To speak of the Ardlings, we first have to understand the Tieflings. In 5th edition lore, Tieflings can trace their look and bloodlines to the Lords of the Nine Hells, infernal rulers of a distant evil plane. Tieflings inform us of extraplanar influences, and thus the existence of a cosmology beyond the material plane, understood in recent years as the Great Wheel. Tieflings in 5th edition are wildly popular, and in One D&D they've been redefined to have bloodlines now hailing from every evil-leaning plane, from Acheron all the way to Pandemonium. And if the lower half of the Great Wheel is now playable, why not the upper half? The Ardling arrived to be the Tiefling's holy counterpart, split in the same way into 3 archetypes to cover the good aligned planes. Their talents are appropriately divine, as noted in their appearance in the first One D&D Unearthed Arcana, which led to the first problem. There's already a divine-themed race. This is the Aasimar, a race not in the old player's handbook, but since its release in Volos, has for many years been the angel surrogate for players looking for that specific aesthetic. One might think that the Aasimar should be added to the new player's handbook, but it's not the ideal counterpart to the Tiefling. Its 3 forms, Protector, Scourge, and Fallen, span the vertical alignment axis of good, neutral, and evil, in contrast to the Tiefling's now horizontal axis of lawful, neutral, and chaotic. To push the Aasimar into the mold the One D&D team is looking for, they'd have to change quite a bit, inevitably facing some outcry from the loyal Aasimar fans. So instead, the Ardling is invented to fit that aesthetic pocket, despite the many thematic overlaps between the two. Now, if the Ardling was just this, they might have made it to publication, a weird sort of cousin to the Aasimar, but comfortably diametrically opposite the Tiefling. Safe and boring, but serviceable. Unfortunately, the Ardling had one other design problem, which is what led to it being cut entirely. But before that, I want to thank OnlyCrits for today's sponsorship. OnlyCrits offers high-quality dice, cases, and written adventures for your tabletop gaming needs. As someone who's always eager to find dice that fit my home campaigns, this Labradorite Essence set is more than welcome among my recurring stone and ice-themed characters. 3 quick updates to know about. 1. They've got a Kickstarter launching August 15th of this year called Gilman's Guide to Speed, which you can sign up to beta test using the links below. 2. They also want to announce that they've been able to cut prices on pretty much all of their dice sets, which you can buy with an additional 10% discount on top using my code WINTRY at checkout. And as always, number 3, every purchase comes with a free adventure, so don't miss out. Thanks again, and let's get back to the video. One of the biggest differences between the Ardling and the Aasimar was their appearance. It says here that all Ardlings are distinguished by their animal-like heads, kind of like the gods of Egyptian and Hindu religions. So less like this and more like this. They offer 12 animal examples, depending on what heavenly realm you might descend from. While a cool idea, this is weird because it doesn't follow the pre-existing D&D canon. There are many Celestials, the vast majority not looking like any sort of beast. Doesn't really make sense that every Ardling looks like animals, but their great-grandparents don't. The real reason for their appearance, which you might have guessed, is for marketing. See, beast folk are really popular in D&D. Many 5th edition races pull their appearances and abilities from an animal, like the Leonin for lions, lizard folk for lizards, Kenku for crows, etc. These are often pretty popular, because of their aesthetic or the builds they accommodate. People have been calling for a dog race in particular for so many years now, and no, the shifter doesn't count. Well, WotC says here, the Ardling can have a dog head. That's what you wanted, right? Well, no. When you make a character that looks like an animal, it should probably play like that animal. I mean, what's the point of an elephant head if you can't make use of their trunk? Much of the first wave of feedback about the Ardling reflected this. Too close to the Aasimar, too far from the animals they look like. This dissonance would be really bad for the player's handbook because it'd be confusing for new players. Because of this, the next iteration of the Ardling was completely different. A fully revised Ardling was released in December of 2022. The only thing they kept was the appearance: humanoid body, animal head. But now every feature except one was changed to reflect a more bestial nature. Keen senses, for example, a feature people recognize as commonly seen on beasts. And something new called animal ancestry, which lets you choose from one of 4 beast-like talents: swimming, climbing, running, and jumping to summarize. The lore was changed to originate all Ardlings from the beastlands, a very specific celestial plane of infinite wilderness. This fits better, right? Yes and no. Now the origin and the stat block are at least harmonious, a holy beast plane for a holy beast individual. But it's not really beast enough. These features are a good first step, but by no means does it reflect the entire animal kingdom as it might intend, not even the 12 animal examples in the first version. There's obviously so much more to animals than their eyesight and movement, almost certainly too much to bundle into one species. The Ardling ends up being a watered-down version of every animal, instead of a great reflection of any single one. Also, they've lost the mirror to the Tiefling, no longer representing all of the upper planes, just one specific one. And honestly, does anyone really care enough about the beastlands to make a whole species for it in the player's handbook? Records show not even WotC cares about the beastlands. In the last decade, the only details written about this specific plane is shown right here, found in the Dungeon Master's Guide. 7 sentences total in the last 10 years, 3 of which are about an optional curse if you end up traveling there. In attempting to fill in many appealing niches, the Ardling failed to shine for any of them. And so, the Ardling was ultimately cut, doomed to the purgatory of unearthed arcana for the indefinite future, and replaced by the Goliath on the starting roster. And that's where the Ardling will stay, at least until 2025 or way later than that. But what do you say? Do you think the Ardling will ever make a return? And if they do, what aesthetic will they cling to most closely? I'm sure we'll find out. Until then, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stick around for more TTRPG content. Stay frosty.